Real Estate Rant with Alex and Alonzo coming up next.
Live from the Rant Radio Network, you're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis,
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. And we are back here at the Real Estate Rant.
Welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Rant.
Here we are. I'm your host, Mr. Alex Alanis, and to my left here, my broker, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez. How are you, sir?
Good.
Here at the towers of the Rant Radio Network. Thank you again, gentlemen, for allowing us to have a show. Give us a call, 855-693-4897, or you can email us at realestaterantradio@gmail.com. In-house today, we have Mr. Fernando Morales. How are you, sir?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the studio.
Thank you.
Welcome, Mr. Morales.
Mr. Morales is with Western and Southern Life. We will be talking in further segments about what he does and the power of mortgage insurance. That's interesting. I actually never knew that there was such a thing other than the mortgage insurance that the lenders offer, but this is a totally different product. So we have a good show coming up for you. If you happen to give us a call, you have the opportunity to win a $25 gift card to Stevens Steakhouse, located in the City of Commerce. Compliments of Carlos Cruz at the Downey Chamber of Commerce, and or a $200 teeth whitening to Garden Dental at 7218 Garfield Avenue in the City of Bell Gardens. Now, if you call in and ask myself, Mr. Alonso, or Fernando a question, you have an opportunity to win one of those gift cards. And if we can, throw up the design deal. Every week we throw up the design deal, and ooh, look at that. Mr. Allen had the opportunity to upgrade our graphic. Very nice, sir. If you know what kind of house this is and you call in, 855-693-4897, you have an opportunity to win one of those gift cards.
Are you sure that's not the White House?
I'm sure that is not the White House.
It kind of looks like the White House. I see Obama standing peeking out the window there.
Yeah, there you go. Yes. So anyway, every week we do questions and answers. If an individual happens to email us and we happen to find a correlation with the show or the guests of the show, Mr. Alonso, did we get anything like that today?
Any what? What was that?
Questions and answers?
Oh, yeah. Questions and answers. It's today's question comes in from Darla out of Santa Fe Spring, and it says, how does purchasing a home compare with renting?
With ranting?
Yeah, it says, how does purchasing a home compare with renting? Renting.
I thought you said ranting.
Rent.
This is the real estate rant, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. No, not rant. Rent.
Do you want to take this one, Mr. Alonso?
Well, I mean, they really don't compare. I mean, just got to outweigh the advantages of renting and owning a home. One of the advantages of renting is that you don't have to
Ranting,
Alex.
You said it again. Is it me, Fernando? Is he?
I heard ranting.
Dude, you keep saying ranting.
Dude, well, pardon my French, but
okay, right
on. I'm a hardcore Mexicano.
There you go.
You gotta bear my accent.
Bien pocho.
Got to bear with my accent. Well, getting back to the question, it's that's one of the biggest things I think with rentando una propiedad.
Órale.
Is that the maintenance issue is one of the big ones. Advantages. What may be some advantages of owning a home?
Well, I mean, obviously the equity piece of it.
That's one of the big things, building equity, and then also just
tax benefits,
the freedom of doing what you want in your home, your own home, probably.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I always tell homeowners or potential homeowners when they're asking this particular question about renting or buying is they're paying the government $300-400 a month in taxes because they're not getting that tax benefit, but they're making that money and it's not being used for their benefit. So that's one of the things. I mean, there's been talk recently about removing the whole tax benefit on the interest deduction, and I haven't heard anything about that. Have you heard anything about that?
No, I haven't, Alex.
Fernando,
No, I have not.
There was some talk about it. And Fernando, if you will, straighten out your mic there, because I'm not picking you up there very well. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I would tell the listener.
I like to think about it as a little savings piggy bank. Within renting a home is you're throwing your money away, and when you're purchasing a home, you're building equity think of it more like a little piggy bank, a little savings account, and after the 30 years, you break it and you're about that time to retire,
Oh,
and
so
you go to the
you're one
Bahamas
of
with it,
those, huh? You're one of those. You break your piggy banks. Oh, okay. I got your
Oh,
number.
you're the ones that carve the little hole on it, and then just
Yeah, you got to reuse it. You can't break the piggy bank. Anyway, we do have a phone call line one. Let's see who's on. Thank you for calling Real Estate Rant. How can we help you today?
Hi, my name is Annie, and I had a question for Fernando. My question is, can a buyer get mortgage protection even if they have private mortgage insurance?
Wow, that's a really good question.
Thank you.
Yes, they can, and I'll elaborate, Alex and Alfonso.
Please.
The PMI, or the private mortgage insurance, is there for the lender's protection, right, against you defaulting. They're safe, but if you default, whether it's for one thing or another, the homeowner isn't protected, right? They'll end up foreclosing and losing the home that they've worked so hard to get in the first place, right?
Right.
But with the mortgage protection, and it could be any instance, it could be whether it's protecting somebody from being unemployed or losing a job because of a disability, whatever the case is, having that in place we don't know what's going to happen in the future, right? But having that in place is going to protect not only the homeowner but your family. It's going to keep them in that home. And like I was telling Alex before the show, this is just a concept. It's not a product. I'm not pushing products, and I'm not consulting one way or another. But this is just a concept, and a lot of homeowners aren't aware of this concept that's available for them. And I'll give you an example. I bought a house a few months ago. Finally, after years of trying, we finally bought a house. And the first thing you get when you buy a house, and some of you homeowners out there, feel free to agree with me, is you get a lot of mailing, right, from ADT, right? I'm sorry, or insurance, or
different insurance companies,
or alarm companies, or window replacement people, right? And then you'll get a letter from the tax county assessor saying, "Hey, you owe us money because your property is now valued more than what you paid for it," right? I got that. Also, you'll get mailings from your escrow company, from your lender, and from your title company saying, "Well, congratulations on your new home. Now you need to protect it. Fill this out, and we'll tell you how much it'll cost." Right? So the lenders are aware of that, but as a new homeowner, you kind of get freaked out. Like, what do you mean?
Another payment or
right? Another payment.
After seeing your good faith or your HUD one, and you go down the list of all the charges, and that's all you think when you finally get into the house, huh?
Exactly.
Another charge. What do they want now?
Well, you thought you're fully protected. Well, my real estate agent took care of all that stuff.
Right. Or what's my homeowner's insurance? That's the homeowner insurance covers you in case of an earthquake if you have insurance, right?
Yeah.
Or it covers you of any liability around the home. But like I said, it doesn't protect the mortgage that is still going to be due because of an unforeseen event.
Does that also cover, Fernando, like in case someone dies on the property?
Absolutely. That's the most common common reason.
Real quick, I don't mean to interrupt there, but we do have a caller on the line. Did that answer your question, caller?
Yes, it did. Thank you. Did I win the gift card?
Absolutely, you did.
Hey, yes.
I'm going to put you on hold, okay? And then my engineer will get your information, okay?
Thank you. Thanks, Fernando and Alex.
All righty. Thanks for calling.
And Alonzo, don't forget Alonzo.
And Alonzo, you're my favorite. How did I forget you?
Exactly.
The good-looking one. Just remember the good-looking one.
Okay, we do have another phone call. You want to take this, or are we coming up on well, we got about 3 minutes. Let's see if we can squeeze her in. Thank you for calling Real Estate Rant. How can I help you today? Yes, hello.
Sí, este es Paco.
Hey, ¿qué pasó, Paco? ¿Cómo
El señor
estás?
Paco, ¿cómo estás?
Yo soy el buen looking one.
Órale.
¿El qué?
El bueno looking.
El bueno Lucky, ¿eh?
The good-looking one.
Oh, okay. What can we do for you today, sir?
Esa casa es B, Victorian House.
Okay, that's actually not the answer.
Do I give the gift card anyways?
No, not today, Mr. What did you say your name was?
Paco.
Oh, Paco. Okay, yeah, no, not today. Thanks for calling.
Okay, thank you.
All All right. Not sure who that was. That was a freaky little phone call there. Anyway, give us a call, 855-693-4897, and you can potentially win a gift card like one caller has today already. Not sure if she picked the Steven Steakhouse or the complimentary teeth whitening. Mr. Fernando, we do have about 2 minutes before the break.
Sure.
Maybe you can give us a small little introduction about yourself.
I'm more than happy to. Well, I'm a local product, right? Born and raised in Whittier, California.
Right on.
Oldest of 6, right? And like I said, local product, Pioneer High School, class of 95. So hello to all the fellow Titans out there.
But you're young.
95. I'm like, wow.
I graduated in 86, man.
I'm 91. I'm
91, yeah.
That's the first time anybody's told me that. Every time I mention 95, like, Jesus, the internet wasn't even invented back then, or it was barely
exactly.
rolling out, right? Class of 95. Went to Rio for a couple of years, and then finished out my business degree out at one of the universities. But business has always been something that I was interested in from high school, and it all stemmed from an econ project that one of my teachers had us do. And, from that point on, it was just something that I was really, really into, and I carried on to in college, got my degree in it, and as you learn more about investments and other products, my interest just expanded, and I wanted to help, specifically the Latino market, because they're the ones that don't understand a lot of these investment vehicles or savings accounts, and I made it a mission to at least educate for the most part, and expand that knowledge. Right, knowledge is power, and knowledge is free. You just gotta sit down and listen to it. So that's how I started way back in the day, and I'm still doing
Google
it today.
it, right?
Or now you can Google it.
But remember back then when he started, or when we started, I should say, there was not
No, it
no
wasn't
internet
around.
yet. Computers weren't invented back then.
I used to make a joke, when somebody used to ask me a question and say, "Wait, you know a lot about that." I used to say, "Well, yeah, I watch the Discovery Channel." Because they got all these little seminars and things going on, right?
Yeah.
We are coming up on a break.
Don't touch that mouse. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more Real Estate Rant.
Are you watching the game at home? Why? Come watch it at Mambo Grill, the hottest spot in Downey. You'll have good food, drinks, and a great time at a low price. We have the coldest beer in our sports bar, where you can enjoy the game on any of our huge flat screen TVs. And when your home team wins, you get 25% off anything in Mambo Grill. We're on Downey Avenue, 1 block north of Firestone, or visit us on the web. Mambo Grill, love at first bite.
Do we have your attention? When it comes to tequila, 2 things matter: heart and passion. Never compromising integrity for mass production. Number 1 Tequila delivers the goods. Taste the heart and passion of Mexico in every bottle. We make it right. We make it fun. Superior Tequila. There's only number 1. There's only number 1. There's only number 1.
Been in an accident? Then you need your vehicle professionally repaired. That's exactly what you get when you bring your vehicle to Greg's Auto Body Repair. Free quotes within minutes. We will provide everything you need for a hassle-free auto body repair, from an accurate estimate to working with your insurance company. We will get your vehicle to its pre-accident condition as soon as possible. Greg's Auto Body has been serving Los Angeles County and local cities since 1970. Call us at 562-789-1300.
A home is the biggest investment in most people's lives. Buying or selling should be a positive experience.
Whether you want to be a wealthy real estate investor or just trying to find a place to call home, at AJR & Associates, we focus on the client's needs.
We understand the market better than most. Let us bring the value to you and make the right choice.
AJR & Associates, making your dream house a reality. Call us today for a free consultation at 562-882-1976. Or you can log on to www.hrrealtors.com.
with a track record of great results, bringing knowledge, wisdom, and expertise to you. Hablamos Español. Live from the Rant Radio Network,
You're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis.
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. And we are back here at the Real Estate Rant at the towers of the Rant Radio Network. I'm your host, Mr. Alex Alanis. To my left here, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez. Give us a call, 855-693-4897.
Getting ready to jump out the window.
Yeah, exactly. Well, after so many gift cards we're giving out here today, Mr. Allen, if we could throw up the design deal again, please, sir. You can win a $25 gift card to Steven's Steakhouse, compliments of Carlos Cruz, or a $200 teeth whitening. If you happen to get this particular design, somebody called in earlier and said it was a Victorian home, and that is not the answer. So it's either A or C. Give us a call, 855-693-4897, or you can email us at realestaterantradio@gmail.com. We won't get to your questions today, but if you email us, we'll try to get them in the following shows. Mr. Fernando Morales from Western and Southern Life is here joining us today and telling us about his financial services and some of the products that they have. And Fernando was telling us about why he got interested in the business. And Fernando, I have a question.
Sure.
You sound pretty well versed. I mean, you talked for a few minutes there about your past and some of your experiences now with school. Do you have like a certification? I mean, is there a license involved?
Yeah. Actually, there is. One, I got my bachelor's in business. That's one of them. I also have my life, health, and disability and accident insurance license, as well as my Series 6 and my Series 63 licenses, which give you the opportunity to conduct business using securities, investments, mutual funds, that sort of a thing. So yeah, you definitely need to be certified, right? And it's not just a one-time deal. You have to get recertified every couple of years. And I just did mine yesterday again, and it took forever. But happy to say I'm recertified.
How many years?
Every couple of years, you have to recertify.
Really?
And this recertification, is it for like selling insurance? Is it like
Both.
insurance?
Mm-hmm. For insurance and for investment and securities. Yep.
So Western and Southern Life. Well, obviously, because it has the name in it has the word life in the name, right? You guys do life insurance as well. But what really caught my interest was kind of what the caller had originally talked about was the mortgage protection when we had originally talked. But in terms of you now, you mentioned going and getting a bachelor's degree. Is that correct? Was that a career choice for you?
Yeah, it was both. I promised my parents, number one, right? I promised my parents that.
Well, you said you're the oldest of six.
I'm the oldest of six,
Yeah.
right. So I promised my parents that I would get a degree in college. I didn't say which degree, right? I could have stopped at the AA, but as a personal choice, wanting to get into this line of business, the bachelor's was what I went for, and received. But yeah, early on, I knew that this was the business that I wanted to get into, and 12 years later, I'm still here. Right? Hasn't been easy, but it's been rewarding. That's for sure.
Right. I think we have a phone call line one. Let's give him a try. Thank you for calling Real Estate Rant. How can we help you today?
Hi, this question is for Fernando Morales.
Shoot.
Is he available?
Yes, he's he can hear you. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, brother, relax. It's your brother Zig.
I'm sorry. Oh, is this Fernando's your brother on the line?
Yeah, it sounds like it. He's I think he's calling from a cell phone because he's breaking up. But I think that's my brother.
This is your brother.
It is my brother.
Wishing you good luck.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Oh wow, that's fairly nice. I've been trying to get my brother to call since I started the show, and he's never wanted to call.
Do you now? He says that you guys have 6 siblings. How are you in the mix?
I'm the third middle of the top rank again.
You're cutting out a little bit. I apologize.
Sorry about that. I'm the third born, the third oldest.
The third oldest, huh?
Oh, the third oldest. And how many boys of the 6?
There's boys.
There's 4.
So did you also get a bachelor's degree after Fernando set the example?
No, actually, Fernando didn't give any good examples. Such a good Lincoln. No, he's a good mentor. Growing up, being that big brother that he was. But
I'm not catching what he's saying. I apologize. I think we're having some technical.
He said I was a
difficulties.
good mentor.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to cut the call short because you're I'm not hearing you very well.
Thanks for calling in, listener.
Thanks for calling. Yeah, right on. So you actually got a brother. I've actually been telling my sister to call him, but she won't do it. Yeah, my girlfriend's called in a few times, but
Well, we're all over Whittier, so
Yes. So we had talked a little bit about now Western and Southern. Now I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of the company, but tell us a little bit about the company.
Well, Western and Southern Financial Group. Western and Southern Life is part of the financial group. They're they're based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. That's where the headquarters is, and they've been around for over 126 years. They're one of the oldest insurance companies out there, and out in the West Coast, they don't get a whole lot of attention because, like I said, they're mainly out in the Midwest. If you ever go to Cincinnati, walking downtown, you'll see names, Western and Southern all over downtown and buildings and billboards and buses and whatnot. Out here and outside of that territory, there's not a whole lot of acknowledgement, right? But we are now showing campaigns on ESPN and Fox Sports and the Food Network. So little by little, that presence will be expanding to the West Coast. But we're a Fortune 500 company. Like I said, one of the oldest insurance companies out there, and we're full service. Not only insurance, but investments, health insurance, disability insurance, long-term care. The whole slew of products there.
Right on. You actually mentioned a word, Fernando,
Mm-hmm.
and I particularly like this phrase, if you will. It was risk management.
Mm-hmm.
And when you started talking more about what your company does, you use that word quite frequently.
Right.
Can you expand a little bit on risk management?
Sure. Risk management. Well, risk management means different things to different people, right? Whether it's mortgage protection, which is what we're talking about today, to I'm the breadwinner in the house, and if I get hurt on the job and can't bring that income anymore, what am I going to do, right? That's another form of risk management. Basically, the idea or the concept is protecting what's important to you. Doesn't matter how you do it, right? As long as you have a plan in place to do it, then you should be good to go. But that's not something that just comes up overnight. You need a plan for it, right? Talk to an advisor, talk to somebody who's familiar with tax laws, right? But get just whatever's important to you, set something in place in case of. That's all that is.
And this is very popular with people that work for the county, the county employees. I used to work at a county built facility before, and I would always see different insurance companies go in there, and that's because something I believe. I'm not. Don't quote me on this, but I think they don't pay into their Social Security benefits, so they have to
Who
have
doesn't?
The county employees. So they have to have something in place, and that's why it's very popular in county facilities. I used to see life insurance people and risk management people go there all the time, at the county facilities. And just like you were saying, it doesn't, since they're not paying into disability or anything like that, they need to have something in place in case they do get sick and, they want to continue to get paid.
Absolutely. A lot of employees out there depend on their employers to provide all the tools for them to be protected or to be secure, and that's not the case anymore. Companies don't provide pensions anymore. Very rare ones do, but
let's talk about real estate agents.
Okay.
There's no such thing.
There isn't. You guys are they're self-employed, right?
Yeah.
So you're the employer and the employee. So you need to take care of yourself. How do you do that? Get a SEP IRA or get a solo 401k. You're gonna have to get your own insurance, right? Pay for your own insurance. But there are retirement plans for self-employed people. The downside is that you've got to pay for it yourself because you're the you're the employer.
There's no employer contributions in that case. You have to contribute
That's
out of your
it.
own paycheck.
Yeah, your broker ain't gonna help you with that.
You match your yeah, absolutely. Match your own contributions and then go from there.
You should contribute to his fund.
That's a little inside joke right there. Anyway, that's interesting. So now as a homeowner, they can protect themselves now with some products now, and this is what actually caught my eye with Western Southern, right?
Mm-hmm.
Western and Southern Life. That particular product that we talked about earlier was the mortgage protection, because it doesn't necessarily protect the lender. The lender's protected anyway, mainly because they get paid, right? But the homeowner's protected in terms of they sell their house.
Correct.
Right, because in the flip side of it is with PMI, they lose their house. The mortgage company is still protected, but the homeowners is out.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that particular product actually what caught my eye about the company, but we talked a little bit about a 2-income household and why that was necessary.
Well, it's another conversation we had off the air, and we were discussing why a lot of people have 2-income households today, right? It all goes back to inflation, basically, right? And people say, well, what's inflation? Well, basically, it's what things cost today.
Cost of living.
Right, as opposed to what it cost 10 years ago. Like, give an example. I've been married about 7 years now. And when the wife and I were dating, we go to the movies, right? How much was the movie ticket 10 years ago? About $6, maybe. $4.50, $6.
Yeah,
$12. And
now it's $12. That's inflation, right? Same thing happens with property values, right? It gets more expensive as time goes. And today, I mean, my parents bought their house for I think $130,000 20 years ago. Now the house is probably worth $4 or $5. Right,
and we are coming up on a break.
Don't touch that mouse.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more Real Estate Rant.
Add some crazy flavor to your vape pen. You're looking for something new and exciting in liquid vapor? Go to Crazy Cloud's e-juice. Find them at burstoflavor.com and try any of the new 12 flavors they have available. Blueberry, mint, raspberry, chocolate, gummy bear, hemp, watermelon, cola, orange, pina colada, coconut, or red bully. Call us today at 855-WE-BURST or visit us at burstoflavor.com and order yours today.
The Share Foundation is the health division of the Coy Chiropractic Institute, a 501c3 509A2 public nonprofit organization dedicated to the growth and development of the natural health care services, in particular through the chiropractic profession, offering health services at the Share clinics in the greater Los Angeles area. Your donations can help in expanding these facilities across the nation, research programs, and public education, thus offering a solution to the many of the health challenges we face. Your donations are tax-deductible and can be sent through our website at www.sharefoundation.com. That's www.cherfoundation.com by clicking on the donation button. Thank you.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
Hey, bro, this is a good game. You know what would make it better?
What, bro?
A michelada.
A michelada? What's a michelada?
A michelada is somewhere in the middle of a Mexican Bloody Mary and a Mexican margarita.
Oh, I got you covered, bro.
You got a cup in your pocket?
No, sir. I got my pocket-sized michelada. Mucho macho michelada.
Pocket size?
Pocket size, so you can take it with you anywhere you go.
Where'd you get that at?
At the nearest convenience store, and you can also buy it at muchomachomichelada.com.
You know what will make it better? After we get drunk, if they had a line we can call.
We can call their drunk line. You can leave a message and then log on to the site and listen to your stupidity afterwards.
What's that number?
It's 855-MICHE-69.
What's that number again?
855-MICHE-69.
Awesome. Mucho macho michelada.
What's up, guys? Sports Guru
and Butt Knocker
from the Sportscast, Wednesdays, 12 to 2 Pacific on Rant Radio Network.
We got everything you need to know about sports. We got all the latest video highlights. We got You Got Knocked the Fuck Out. We got Bonehead of the Week. We're talking sports, drinking beer, and having a good time.
If you missed the show, go to rantradionetwork.com and listen on demand. So check us out every Wednesday, 12 to 2 on Rant Radio Network.
Live from the Rant Radio Network, you're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis,
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. And we are back here at the Real Estate Rant, here at the towers of the Rant Radio Network. My associate and broker, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez, and myself, Mr. Alex Alanis.
The one with the heavy accent.
Well, I didn't say heavy. Take it easy. I said in-house today, we have Mr. Fernando Morales from Western and Southern Life. You can reach Mr. Fernando at 562 area code 754-0488. If you happen to be watching the show, every once in a while, my engineer will put up Mr. Fernando's information. You can also reach him at fernando.morales, and that's with an S, at wslife.com. And did I get that right, Fernando? It's with an S, right? Okay.
Correct.
And you can also visit their website at westernsouthernlife.com, and that's up on the screen at the moment.
And in our last segment, we left off where you were telling us a little bit of why the importance of two household incomes.
Yeah, and I was mentioning, the cost of inflation and what things cost 10 years ago to what things cost today. House prices are obviously pretty high, right, as opposed to what they were 10 years ago. So, with today's economy, it's, now it's almost, unless you're making over 100K by yourself, a two-income family is almost the norm these days.
Yeah, and it's become now a necessity, even, Lord, how can I say?
Farquaad?
I mean,
Farquaad.
I hope that doesn't happen to anyone, but in the case it does, how many times have we heard when a spouse dies and, now that income is no longer in place and no insurance is in place. So what happens to the whole family gets displaced because, of course, you're no longer to support, the house payment with just one income.
That product protects that kind of situation?
Actually, it does. And like I said, the product is a concept, and one of those concepts will be using life insurance in this situation to cover the mortgage, right? Hey, honey, if I ever pass away, we just got this new 30-year mortgage. This piece right here is going to cover it, so you guys can stay in the house and not have to worry about making any more payments. If you're still working, you'll have more than enough left over, right? That's basically what it does.
And unfortunately, in the Hispanic market, it's not really common because we hate to talk about death. We have that machizoism,
right?
Where we say, heck no, I'm not gonna leave you in a paid off house so the Sancho could enjoy it.
I've sat in many kitchen tables talking to a couple, and that's exactly the response I get from the husband. Right? I'm not gonna get this policy so you and Sancho can live. First of all, that's dumb, right? That's selfish.
Well, what if the wife passes away?
Well, I mean,
unfortunately, shoot yourself in the foot.
In that case, they'll say, well, I can't control what you do with the money once I'm gone, right? Actually, you can, right? And one of those ways, and if you're using it for mortgage protection, is you can do some type of a collateral assignment to the lender, saying, lender, here's a policy. I'm assigning you as the beneficiary of this policy in case I pass away. Make sure that the mortgage is paid off, right? That's one way you can do that. So you don't have to worry about Sancho
but that's how it's different than a life policy, because you mentioned it's a concept, right?
It's a concept, right?
Yeah, but in terms of writing the policy, it's actually a life policy.
In this case, in this example, yeah. It's a life policy.
So is that different for the? Is that different from what you're offering here in the mortgage protection, or?
Well, again, I'm not offering. Right,
or
right?
how does it differ? How does it differ?
I'm not pitching products. I'm not here to talk about this or that. We're talking about a concept.
We're interested in the concept.
Okay,
right.
but is that a whole different scenario of what I'm talking about, or is that the same concept?
It's the same concept. You know, if it's a two income household, and you know you're barely making the mortgage payment now because you know you got PMI on top of that, and then you got the you know, especially for FHA or maybe in the VA, you have the mortgage, you have the taxes, and you have the PMI on top of that, right? That's an arm and a leg.
Well, that brings up the next question. Mm-hmm. What about affordability? I mean, what kind of rates are we looking at?
You know, in this situation, because we're talking about life insurance, right? To replace that missing income, or to pay for that mortgage, right? It's all dependent on like with any insurance premium, whether it's car insurance or whether it's health insurance, it's age and the amount of coverage that we're talking about, right? And of course, health. An insurance company isn't going to insure you if you have one leg in the grave already, right? It's not going to happen.
So they're going to ask you for a clean bill of health or something like that.
Well, they'll ask you some medical questions, right? And in some cases, depending on how high the coverage is, so if you're looking for 250 or 500,000 or $1 million, they're probably going to want to have you do a physical exam, right? Which, you know, they might take your blood pressure. They might make you walk on a treadmill, depending on where the exam takes place. But they want to make sure that you're not, you know, you don't get the policy, and then boom, next day you're gone, right?
You get all plugged into all the diodes and stuff. You know?
And of course, insurance companies have contestability periods in place for something like that. But
and how good is your company in paying out those policies?
We've never not paid a claim, and
that was a double negative, Fernando.
Yeah, I know. I just caught myself. And my wife is an English teacher, so I'm sure she's gonna tell me, "Hey,
she's gonna tell you
that." Yeah, we've always paid out a claim.
There you go. always is an absolute now. So where are we going with this? What you're saying is you have a good track record in paying out the claims.
How many times have you heard that, you know, that horror story where the insurance company doesn't pay out the claims? You know?
Well, here's the thing with insurance.
I'm just giving them a hard time.
With insurance companies, and I'm glad you asked that question, because that's one of the questions that I get when I'm sitting at a table with a couple. Insurance companies. We'll take an example. 6 years ago, AIG, right, or some of those other companies, they got the bailout, right?
Yes.
But even the smaller companies, some that you probably haven't even heard of, like I think Riverstone was one of them back in the day. They get bought out by the bigger companies, right?
Yeah, we try not to use names, Fernando, but that's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. And I made up that name up, by the way.
Oh, good. Okay.
They get bought out by the bigger companies, because those bigger companies obviously want those premiums that those policyholders are making. So if there's a company that's small and it's going out of business, there's going to be a big company coming in to swoop it up and, you know, collect all those monthly premium payments.
Sure.
Right? That's how they make their money. So yeah, with insurance, particularly life insurance, it's that's very rare when a life insurance company doesn't pay out a claim.
Well, I sure like to think that, you know, considering that, you know, there's a whole bunch more of the people paying into it than paying out. You know, that's one of the concepts. I believe that's how insurance companies could afford to pay out those policies.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've gotten very, very creative too. I mean, they start putting them like mutual funds or something. You know, they're interest bearing and they're compound interest and all that stuff.
There's some that even give you money back at the end of the year. I've heard some of those too.
Right, you get dividends, absolutely. And you know, it's insurance companies aren't any different than a bank, right? You go, you put money in your bank account, right? And it's there for me whenever I want to use it. Well, in reality, it's not there, right? The bank is using it to, you know, as part of their home loan that they gave to somebody last week, right? Or interest they're giving out on CDs. You know, the bank uses it, and it's not any different with an insurance company. They'll take all the premiums in, they'll tell you how much, right? And they invest it in. But see, with insurance companies, we're a little bit different. We have to invest it in secure vehicles like muni bonds, treasuries, right? Government-sponsored funds.
Nothing aggressive work.
Nothing. Yeah, they're not going to go put everything in on Enron or put anything in on, you know, one of those bigger tech companies, right? No. It's they do that, but they use it in a conservative manner because they need returns, right? That's how they make their money, and they can't they can't. By law, they can't. So it's pretty tightly gripped.
Back to the mortgage protection. I'll be honest with you. I really haven't heard of this product before until we started talking about it. How long has it been around?
Well, the concept, again, it's a concept. It's been around, man. Well, I'm only in my mid-30s.
Just an idea.
In my mid-30s.
I'm not looking for the textbook answer. Just an idea of how long it's been around. Have you heard of it, Alonso?
Well, I kind of some glimpse of it, like with the life insurance policy, and I know since when I did buy my house way back in the days, they asked me, do you want, in case you die, your mortgage will be covered. Obviously, like the Mexican I am, I said no and let her pay for it if I happen to die, But and I've heard a while back the concept of it. So to answer your question,
it's a pretty.
Were you born in Mexico, Alonso?
I was born in Culiacán, Sinaloa.
Were you really?
No, I wasn't. I was born in Monterrey.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Monterey Park, California.
Oh, Monterey. Okay, right on. No disrespect, because you said you were Mexican. So,
what do you got against Mexicans now, Alex?
I got nothing wrong.
Okay, because you're Alanese. You're.
I'm not saying that at all. I'm just. Sometimes I play semantics with that because I have some people say
Orange County. Don't let the Orange County get into you now.
No, sir. I'm saying it because a lot of people say that they're Chinese or something, and I go, well, where were you born? In Kentucky? And it's like, dude, you're not Chinese. You're full-blooded American. You know what I mean? But I understand. You're talking about the culture of Mexican, and I was raised in that. I was raised in the Mexican culture. I lived in Mexico City for 5 years, so I understand all that. But I just, when you said that, it just clicked something in my head. Were you born in Mexico? I didn't know. But you're saying Monterey Park, right? So that's a little different, right?
Close.
So anyway, but going back to the question, just an estimate of how long the concept has been around.
Yeah, I would. I mean, if I had to guess, I'd say as long as mortgages have been around, right? But I don't have the exact date. But I can go back to my experience. 20 years ago, I heard of it.
20 years.
20 years ago, I heard of it. Yeah,
probably even then, because
back when my parents bought their house.
I'm 40, and I heard of it when my parents bought their house.
Right,
too.
exactly. Yeah, in the 90s.
Right on.
80s.
Because
80s. Why? Yikes.
Well, it's just because I would think that more would have heard about it. I mean, me personally, I've bought I don't know, my personal residences. I've had 4. And then other investment properties. I've never once been approached on this particular product in terms of protection.
Right. Well, again, I know we're running short before the break, but a lot of people get mortgage protection confused with the PMI.
Yes.
And or homeowners insurance. They think they're one and the same, and they do they do that for them. In reality, it doesn't. Right. And people just forget about it.
And we are coming up on a break.
It's more like the light. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with some more real estate rant.
Looking for a delicious, fresh family meal that's ready when you are and easy on your budget? Welcome to Piara Pizza. We make our pizzas with handmade dough, 100% real cheese, and tomato sauce blended with our own spices. Nothing is ever frozen. We always have large pepperoni and cheese pizzas fresh and waiting for you for only $5. Or choose one of our specialty pizzas. We have veggie, meat lovers, supreme, and Hawaiian. Add an order of our amazing hot wings, cheesy bread, or breadsticks. Our locations are ultra-modern, ultra-clean, and open 7 days a week. Visit any one of our locations today, or check us out on the web at www.piarapizza.com. Piara Pizza. Fresh, hot, and ready for you when you come in. Stop in for your Piara Pizza today.
ProTech Carpet Tile and Care provides professional cleaning services for carpet, tile, grout, upholstery, and fine area rugs.
ProTech technicians are professionally trained and certified cleaning and restoration experts.
We specialize in restoring damage caused by heavy soil and odor.
We can remove challenging spots such as coffee, tea, ink,
gum, wine, and many more.
We have saved our customers thousands of dollars on new flooring and furniture expenses with our advanced cleaning processes.
Call for a free estimate at 562-447-4300 and visit us on our website, www.myprotectsite.com.
Hey, this is Joe Perez, owner at Protect. Just reminding you that Protect Carpet and Tile Care is your professional choice.
What's wrong?
I can't stop craving a cigarette. I just quit. Hey, what are you smoking on?
Oh, this? Best e-juice on the planet. Burst of flavor, of course.
What's that?
Only the best alternative to smoking with a great flavor. It has a burst of flavor in every puff.
Well, does it have nicotine?
It comes in different levels, including 0. They have 20 flavors and more coming. All the products are made in the U.S. Check them out at www.burstoflavor.com or call them at 855-WE-BURST.
Hey, let's burst together.
It's not just flavor, it's an experience. Cigarettes, you've met your match.
Looking for some swag? Make sure to check out monsterclothing.com. They got everything from V-necks, t-shirts, hoodies, baby dolls. And remember, custom orders are always welcome and much more. They're just not on the site yet. www.monsterclothingco.com or call them at 888-49-MONSTER. 888-49-MONSTER. Hablamos español. Doo-doo-doo!
Everyone, even Elvis loves Firehouse Chefs.
Catch FHC Radio every Wednesday from 8 to 9 p.m. on the Rant Radio Network.
Live from the Rant Radio Network, you're listening to Real Estate Rant with your host, Alex Alanis,
and your co-host, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez.
No problems, just solutions for real estate needs, hot topics, and controversial chat. And we're back here at the Real Estate Rant. I'm your host, Mr. Alex Alanis, and to my left here, my broker, Mr. Alonso Rodriguez. How are you, sir?
Good.
Big smile ear to ear. In-house today, we have Mr. Fernando Morales from Western and Southern Life. He is helping us understand the products available and the concepts available that are available with his company. And you were finishing up, Fernando, in the last segment. We kind of run short of time about that particular product. But what are some of the other products that are available?
Well, like I said, it's whatever's important to you, whatever concept applies to your situation, right? You can use it. It's not just about insurance. It's about, like I said earlier, if you're the sole provider of the family, right, and you slip and fall at work and you're disabled, that disability is not going to give you what you were making, right? But you can buy insurance against that, right? Disability insurance, income replacement type of thing.
Kind of like what a model does for her legs, right? Or when they insure their legs and stuff in case something goes wrong with them.
Is that for real?
Yeah, it's for real. They
that's extreme because that's how they earn their living, right? They're
so
a leg
they
model,
have,
but yeah, that they do insure.
They have big policies in case something happens to them, and that's how they made a living.
Wow. Yeah, but this is more for the individual, right? Protect himself against injury at work or life, right? Or sickness, long-term care. That's another product that nowadays has taken a big toll, especially on the older folks. They've been in their home for X amount of years. They might still have a mortgage left, but because they are now unable to carry out the normal activities, right? They might need some assistance from a nurse, or they might have to be admitted into a hospice type environment or residence. That costs money, man. That's at least $5,000 a month. And a lot of times people end up selling their home, right? Because they can't live there anymore, or they'll end up pulling equity out and paying for this, paying for that, and then you're starting all over with another mortgage. You know what I mean?
And this reminds me because I worked at a hospital facility before, and I saw it all the time where, all of a sudden someone finds out they have cancer. And they're not insured, is that another product that?
Yeah, absolutely. And people want insurance when they can't get it anymore.
Yeah, and once
it drives me nuts.
Once even though you have a little signs of it,
come on, Fernando, that's just human nature, man.
Once you have even a little sign of it, or you were kind of diagnosed but not really diagnosed, you're not gonna get insurance, and nobody's gonna want to insure you, or if they do, it's probably gonna be extremely high.
Absolutely. And people come to me for advice on insurance, right? After maybe somebody passed that they know, somebody they were close to, or after they've been diagnosed with something. All right, hey, I got XYZ cancer. Can I get insurance? No, right? That's an automatic decline. Hey, I just got diagnosed with diabetes. What do I do? Well, your premiums are going to go up. You'll still get insured, but it's going to cost you more now, right? Or, hey, I'm 70. Can I still get insurance? Right? That's one of the clients that I met with a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, but here's how much it's going to cost you. And this is the cheapest plan. This is what it's going to cost you a month. Whoa, people wait until they can't. I don't know why. Until they can't get insurance anymore.
So it's too late.
And then they yell at the advisor or the agent because it's too expensive. So I mean, my advice to people out there listening: get it while you're healthy because it's cheaper.
And that's when you think you don't need it. You're
exactly.
Like, why do I need to pay insurance? I'm perfectly fine.
A lot of things are going to happen, and we don't have control over any of these. One, you're going to die. Just don't know when. Right?
That's something that we'll never
That's
get away with.
Unstoppable, right? And people buy car insurance and they'll gladly pay for it every month, but they might go their whole driving career without getting into an accident, right? And at the end of that policy, you don't get anything back. But when you say like, oh, what about life insurance? Well, I'm not gonna die, right? And then they exit out and don't ever bother to talk about it again. This is a policy that you are going to use, and it is going to affect your family, right? How many times have I seen car washes, right, at a Big Lots parking lot or bake sales? My wife told me, and I told my wife, I am not going to wash any cars. I'm not going to have a bake sale. So we need to get something in place. And that was when we first got married. We need to get something in place, right? And my kids have insurance. I have insurance. My wife has insurance. My parents have insurance. Siblings have insurance. Hopefully they still have it, right? But
some of them are listening.
Yeah. But, it's again, you want to get insurance when you're able and healthy, right? The younger you are, the healthier you are, the cheaper it is. It's not going to get any cheaper than it is today. Insurance premiums change day by day. Tomorrow you might have a birthday, or tomorrow you might be diagnosed with something, right? And then that'll jack up the prices. So don't wait on it. Right?
And not only that, you also have like there's a waiting span. Like say, like if you purchase an insurance and 6 months down the line you find out you're diagnosed with cancer. In some instances, it still won't cover you. You have to have the policy for a certain time. Is that something with your company that also is required, that you hold the policy for a certain amount of time?
Well, it's not. That's a company standard, right? It's not just my company. It's everybody out there, and they have what are called waiting periods. Now, when you apply for whether it's a disability insurance or whether it's long-term care insurance, you get to pick the waiting period, whether it's 0 day, 30, 60, 90, 180 months, right? You get to pick that waiting period. So right off the bat, you'll know, right? The standard is 90 days. Right? A lot of people do that. But the less time you do, the more expensive the premium gets. So if you do a 0 waiting period, right? If you have cancer today, it'll take effect tomorrow. Of course, you're going to pay a little higher premium. But clients do have that choice to pick how long to wait before those benefits start kicking in.
Yeah, it becomes worth it. What about the family protection? How is that different from life insurance?
It depending on the company, and we do have one of these family protections. You're insuring the whole family for a low premium, right? In our instance, it's less than $20 a month, right? Doesn't matter how many kids you have. Doesn't matter, how old they are, as long as they're under 18. You can cover everybody all at once. And one of the examples I use is because I've had clients that this happened to them. They, during the summer breaks or the spring breaks, we're in spring break right now, but they like to all hop into the van and go to Yosemite, or they go on a family vacation, right? How many times have you gone down the 15 or the 40 going to Havasu, and have you seen a truck flip over, right?
Oh,
and
I've seen that a few times.
Yeah. And you want, hey, well, I know what happened. And then, maybe in the news they say that there's a fatality, and God forbid, that was the case. But if that was the case, everybody in the car will be covered in such an instance, right? You protect the whole family for low premium. You have that peace of mind, right, in case of an accident. And I mean, especially if you go out there and you're doing these family trips, I mean, dude, protect your family, right? That should be a no-brainer. A lot of companies don't have these type of products, right? We do. It is something that I like to endorse because it hits close to home, right? Especially if you're a parent, you know that can happen to anybody at any time. So we do have that, and a few others.
Is this why I wrote train, plane, and bus on here? I
Probably.
I wasn't sure
yeah.
what that meant.
These policies, they cover, if any accident, if you're on a plane, on a train, on a bus, if you paid a ticket to get on that bus, you're a fare paying passenger, right? And if an accident happens, because you guys all took a bus ride to Mexico, because when I was little we used to do that. We took the bus from TJ and went into Michoacan, and something happened on that bus, you're a fare paying passenger. You get double the benefit of whatever the insurance is. So if you're getting a $50,000 base policy, that now becomes $100,000, right?
Why is that?
It's called double indemnity.
Oh,
and
okay.
it's if you're a fare paying passenger, right? You're no fault to you. You're just a passenger. You paid a ticket. It's an indemnity that's included in a policy like this, right? You get double. Same thing if you're driving down, coming home, I don't know, from a party or something with your family, and a drunk driver runs a red light and hits you, and boom, something happens. That's also another cause for double indemnity, and you also get double the benefit, right? So it's, sadly, these things do happen. Right? We can't stop them. It's just being at the wrong place at the wrong time. But again, that's what insurance is for. Car insurance, right? House insurance, wrong place, wrong time. You get into an accident with a car. That's why you have insurance, right?
Kind of like that commercial of the bad luck. I'm bad luck, and you don't know when it's gonna strike you. Farmers has one.
Mayhem, right? I'm mayhem.
Yeah,
I don't remember that one.
No,
I don't remember that one. So it sounds like a lot of these are, like you said, they're concepts, and they're policies, they're life insurance policies. But I didn't hear you say anything about like whole or term life, right? Do they mature?
Yeah, they actually do. The whole life is like this accident plan that we're talking about. People pay into it, and then let's say you hit 65, right? This policy matures at 65. So God willing, there's no claims to be paid out. You get all your money back. All right.
Oh,
at age 65, you're paying all these years. You're paying into this policy. You hit 65, policy matures. You get all your money back. Around 65, you're probably retiring, right? So a nice $10,000 or $20,000 check is gonna be pretty nice, right? Especially around retirement age. We have that return of premium option in these policies, and there's other insurance products out there that also have a return of premium product. So people tell me, well, I'm going to pay into this thing for so many years, but I'm never going to get anything back. Well, that's not true, especially if you have a cash value type of policy like a whole life. You're building equity in that thing. Use it for college funding down the road if your kids are small enough. Use it for retirement, right?
So that's how that works. Is say if you put a policy on your kids, and then when it matures, you can use it for college fund on a.
The thing with insurance is that people have the misconception that it's only if you die. In reality, it's if you live, if you're still with us, right? Whether you live or die, there's benefits to each type of policy, like the whole life, right? You get one on yourself or you get one on your kids. You build equity, pull it out whenever you need it. Remodel a house or
Mr. Fernando, we are coming up on the end of the show. I just wanted to thank you again for joining us. You can reach Fernando at 562 area code 754-0488. Mr. Fernando, I do appreciate you coming and sharing that with us today.
Yeah, it's been fun.
It's actually a learning experience for myself, and Alonso, I think, can share that sentiment. Thank you for listening in. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in to Real Estate Rant Radio.
Make sure to join us every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
on the Rant Radio Network, where we talk about solutions to your real estate problems. The views and opinions expressed by the host or any guest on this show are encouraged to be followed up by a professional tax advisor or attorney, as we are not qualified or authorized to give advice in two areas: legal matters and tax matters.